Hey guys, it's Shawn with FTMKickstart. So, this week's topic is on myths, and the myth that I'm covering is that all trans men desire bottom surgery. Now, I can see why this would be a big myth, just because there was a point in my life where I didn't realize that I was trans, and I didn't know anything about transgendered people really at all, except for what I assumed meant that if you were trans, you desired to be the opposite sex of what your assigned sex was at birth. So if you were female and in your mind you felt like you were male, so you had the full surgery, top and bottom, you took hormones, and you lived your life as what appeared to be a heterosexual, in a heterosexual relationship, and that was the end of that. But I was very, very off and very misinformed, and I'm not surprised if the general public, whether they be heterosexual, comfortable with their assigned sex, or even within our own community, lesbians, gays, and bisexuals, if they're not so aware of what it really means to be transgendered, and that it really isn't very black and white, and there's a lot of components to it. So first of all, being transgender usually means that there's some sort of dysphoria going on, and there's two types of major dysphorias. You have social dysphoria and you have physical dysphoria. Social dysphoria usually is going to consist of not being happy with the way that you're interacted with according to your assigned sex. Physical dysphoria is going to be mostly unhappiness with your own physical characteristics of your assigned sex. And when you're trans, you usually claim to either be trans, genderqueer, gender neutral. All of those things really just mean that you don't really fit either here or there. Now, there's a lot of trans men that do fit very, very well into the binary genders. But there's also a lot of trans guys that don't fit into those binary genders, male and female. And that's where those other terms come in, because some trans people feel like they're both sexes, and other trans men feel like they're neither. And so when that happens, a lot of times dysphoria varies on different scales. So for some trans guys, they might have more of a problem with social dysphoria, while others have more of a problem with physical dysphoria. And even hand in hand with that, that can even be broken down further, where their physical dysphoria may only be focused on their chest, or it could be the bottom, or it could be both. So that's one major reason why trans guys may not be all for bottom surgery. The second major reason why trans guys may not desire bottom surgery is cost. Bottom surgery can cost anywhere from as little as $2,000, getting like the bare minimum, to $150,000, getting everything done. And that's quite a bit of money. And the big problem with the whole cost thing is that most of the time, health insurance companies don't consider it to be a necessary procedure. They consider it to be an aesthetic, cosmetic procedure. So for the most part, many trans men are really just left on their own to pay out of pocket to get any kind of major work done as far as bottom surgery goes. The third reason why trans men may not opt for bottom surgery is because of the overall appearance. A lot of times when you have surgery like that, you have to sacrifice one thing in order to obtain another. So it could mean you could have a full functioning penis. It could look like a penis, and you can have an erection through arousal, and you could have very good sensation. But the catch would be that you would have a very, very small penis, and you may not be happy with that, and you may not be able to do penetration, and that might be something that you really feel is important to you. On the other hand, you could get a penis that is very accurate in size, very accurate as far as appearance goes. You know, you could probably urinate, you can penetrate, but the catch on that would be you may not have very much sensation, if any sensation really at all, and you wouldn't be able to have an erection during arousal. So there are really pros and cons to whatever surgery or amount of surgeries that you get, and it's really just not a perfected procedure. What also goes hand in hand with that would be the fourth reason why trans men may not be down for bottom surgery, would be the fact that with the risks and the cons comes scarring and an overall large amount of surgeries. Normally, when someone is going to get surgery where they want a very average-sized penis that's very detailed, feels like the real thing, and maybe they want to be able to urinate out of it, or there's so many. Maybe they want scrotoplasty, which means that they get very realistic-looking testicles. All of those things, not only does it going to cost more, but it also means that there's going to be a lot more surgeries required, and also a lot of tissue, donor tissue. So that can mean you could get tissue taken from your forearm a lot of times. It could be from your upper torso. I can't think of the other ones. Oh, the inner thigh. Might be places where you might get some of the tissue taken to be put, in your desired penis. So that's another reason. As for myself, I really don't have major plans for bottom surgery. In fact, it's something that I've kind of thought about, but I've never really thought deeply about. In the future, that could change. Most of my dysphoria is really focused with social dysphoria. I'm pretty accepting of the fact that I, was raised female and have feminine attributes and always will, and I think that's, very cool. I think people should embrace the whole genderqueer umbrella. I think it's great. I think it's important to have both attributes. I think it helps with balance, and it just varies from person to person. As far as lower dysphoria for me, it's not nearly as strong as my upper dysphoria with my chest, just because it's something that I really have to deal with every day. I have to bind every morning, and I have to make sure, it looks like a flat chest, and really the only time I'm ever self-conscious about my lower half is when I'm being intimate with my partner, and that's really when it becomes a big, kind of a mind fuck. So, yeah, down the line, I may want to get bottom surgery. I may not like the fact that I look like I have, half a male body. Maybe the other half may look more female to me. Maybe I may focus on that more. It's all up to you, and it's all about what you decide. But I really hope that I cleared that myth up for you guys. And if you guys want to know more about the details of lower surgery, I would check out FTMguide.org or Hudson's Guide. It's really great. It has a lot of information, very detailed. I think there's I don't even know, maybe 12 different ways to get what you want. So till next week, you guys, take care, and yeah, bye.